Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome back to another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day. And I want to talk to you today about the 3 things that can take talented people off of their mission and get them off of their trajectory of taking their life to the next level that I have witnessed. 3 things. Could be more, but these are the key 3 things. So it's toxic relationships, bad relationships with people that you're intimately involved with, men or women. Second one, drugs or alcohol, too much of it. So when I say that, I'm thinking, well, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I do drink wine once in a while. You might see me have a beverage once in a while. It's not an all the time thing. It's not a, oh my God, I can't believe how, I had to carry Simon out of the place or something like that. But I don't want to be hypocritical. So I want to clarify drugs and alcohol, meaning too much alcohol, to where it's an everyday thing or it's a too much of it. Not even if it's every day, even if it's one day a week, but it's too much of it to where you're making bad decisions. It's those things that lead you to making bad decisions is the issue. And then the third one is ego. Ego. And so let's hit on all 3 of those things. So first is the relationship piece. You have to, in my opinion, you have to make sure that you have the right significant other or spouse for the job that you want, for the person that you want to become. So for example, I got friends that were in the military. When you hear somebody say, I lived in 7 different places and I'm only 21 years old. Yeah, my family was in the military. That's a normal thing. If you're a football coach that's trying to make it and you follow somebody that becomes the head coach of whatever team, baseball, basketball, football, whatever, and you follow where they started to where they finished, how many times did those people have to move? If I'm a professional baseball player, there's 100 and some baseball games a year and they're not all at home. So that means I'm going to be 60 times on a plane, on the road, not with my wife, not with my family, whatever. That's a specific spouse or significant other that you need if that's a goal that you have. High school football coaches, even that don't travel, how much time and energy goes into the time that they spend coaching football, watching film, helping kids, having kids over, treating kids like their own. That is a commitment from your spouse. So I think having a vision of who you want to become, what you want, what your role is going to be in life, and making sure that you choose a significant other or a spouse that supports that mission. I had somebody tell me, one time when I was asking them about how they would handle certain situations, and it's like, man, either they got the wrong job or they got the wrong wife. And I don't know which one it is. You might have the wrong job with the right husband or the right wife. Or you may have the right job. This is what you want to do. This but you got the wrong girlfriend or boyfriend. You got the wrong spouse for that job. It's up to you to pick. Nobody could pick it for you. Don't hate the player, hate the game. It's just like being a parent. If you're a parent at 25 or you're a parent at 40, there's pros and cons to both, but the child don't matter. The job of being a parent don't matter if you're 25 or 40. The job still requires what the job requires. Doesn't matter. So you have to make sure that that spouse, that significant other, supports what it is that you see your vision being. And two people can be great. It doesn't mean that they necessarily need to be together. She could be a great woman. You could be a great man. You could be a great woman. He could be a great man. But it doesn't necessarily mean that those two things need to be together. So you got to make sure, ladies, men, that you have a clear vision of who you want, what you want your life to look like, what you're going to do with your life, and make sure that you have a spouse that fits that role, that they're down with that, and that you're clear with that. And then you may have somebody that's supportive, but they're also toxic as far as negative. Nothing's going to be perfect in any relationship. There is no such thing. You're always going to have differences, arguments, issues, whatever it is that you got to work through. But like, if you're going to be the president of a college, of a university, you know, your husband can't be falling down 3 flights of stairs drunk at the basketball game. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad look. If you're have a different job, that's okay. It depends on what the role is, right? So you have to look and say, man, does this person, are they willing to take the trip with me? Is this person holding me down, pulling me down? Are they helping me in the step? Are they making me not work towards my goals? Are they not a good complement towards where I want to go in my goals, or are they? And you can't take it too far. You never take a person for granted. But I'm just telling you, I've watched more people's careers get killed from relationships than I can count on my hands and my toes of people that could have been great that aren't, because of toxic relationships and relationship stuff not being a fit. All right, so that's a big one. I tell people, other than your relationship with the Lord, I think the best decision, the second largest decision you'll ever make in your life, is the man or woman that you choose to spend the rest of your life with. Choose wisely. You know, I could look back, 41 now. So, you know, I just, not saying that I always did everything perfect from, 15 on. I'm just saying wisdom looking back. Be careful dating somebody that you already know, hey, this ain't marriage material. This ain't somebody that I'm going to marry. This person is probably not who I'm taking home to my dad, to my mom. This is not my wife or husband. This is not somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with. Not good for me. Be careful letting that relationship linger, because all of a sudden you're passing time with that person, just hanging out, turns into 3 years, turns into 5 years, turns into, I don't want to start over. This person knows me real well. I don't trust another person. It'd take me another 5 years to really trust another person, get to know another person. All of a sudden you settle. You settle for less than what you really wanted in a person because your standard dropped and you just got comfortable. You got used to it and you just roll with it because you're casually hanging out for too long and then you can't get out of it. So just be aware of the person, of the relationships, or it can not even be one relationship. It could be you're in too many relationships. That your focus is off. You're so blinded in love that you're like not focused on your dream and your vision anymore, not working hard in the process anymore because you're traveling to see this guy or this girl and your eyes are all over the place versus focusing on taking care of yourself. That ruins the situation. And so that's the first one. then the drugs and alcohol, piece is like, when you have too much of something that, if you're real with yourself and you look in the mirror and say, man, this is not helping me at all. This is making me make bad decisions. This is making me sleep in later than I should. This is making me lose focus. Man, I look at every argument that I've had with so-and-so, and it always turns back to the common denominator is there was alcohol involved, or, whatever it is. Or I'm partying too much on the weekends. I start to drinking Friday, and now I'm hungover on Saturday, so I can't work. I'm not focused. Then I do it all over again. So now Sunday I'm not, feeling my best. So it's like 40% of the week I was all discombobulated. Or I'm out past midnight drinking. I'm getting in arguments. I'm getting in fights with people. I'm getting arrested. Things like that. These are things that will slowly take over your life and create a fork in the road that you may not even realize is happening, that could cost you several years of your life by too much indulging in partying, or those things making you make bad decisions. I know I have some friends of mine, they can have a drink or two and they're perfectly normal. They're nice, everything's good. I got some other people I know, you give them a couple drinks, they turn into Hulk, like an animal, like not even a real human person. Like, what the hell happened? Who are you? Like, you just turned into a character, picking up trash cans and, you know what I mean? Just like, what are you doing? That some people it does that to some people. And so just be real with yourself of like, does this do that to me? What things have been connected to these things in my life that have caused negative things in my life? Do you have a drink, or does the drink have you? You know what I'm saying? Can you have one and be cool? Can you casually hang a little bit? Or it's like once you get one or two in you, it's off to the races. How much is that affecting your relationships? How much is that affecting your life in general? Is it bringing the best out of you? Is it holding you down? And then the third one is ego, lack of humility, really. Ego, my ego's too big. I can't apologize to people that I should apologize to. So then it hurts me at work because I'm not apologizing to people that I should. It hurts me at home because I'm not apologizing to people that I should apologize to, because my ego won't let me say I'm sorry, not me. Too big for that, too tough for that, too strong for that, too much the boss for that. Shows weakness. So that ego piece of not being able to say, I'm sorry, humble myself in a given situation. Ego getting in the way of gratitude. I've been telling people, as an example, 19 years been with this great company, Globe Life, American Income Life, and we've won all kinds of awards. I don't say it to be boastful. I think, you can make an argument on possibly the best, if one of the best, one of the most decorated to do it. Never have I felt that I was God's gift to American Income. I've always felt like American Income was God's gift to me. And the older that I get, the more that I feel that way. And so I think people's ego that gets out of control, they feel like they're God's gift to things, versus that possibly being a gift to you. And so I understand and appreciate the fact of you got to have self-respect. You got to know your worth. You got to know your value. But it's that whole, your ego can get so big that it can overtake you. So you got to have some ego, that value, that self-respect, that confidence, that to be great. And so we talk about it being 51-49, 51% humility, 49% ego. The minute that those two things get switched to where you're 49% humility, 51% ego, you're now getting gobbled up. You're now in a jacked up situation. So my thing for you and for all of us would be just a reminder of those that humble themselves will be exalted. Those that exalt themselves too much will be humbled. And so, you know, how have you shown humility? Or if you're making a lot more money today, are you giving more money away? If you're in a position of influence, are you treating people that are on the lower level with the same amount of love and respect as the people on the higher levels? The old treating the janitor as well as you would treat the CEO from a humility standpoint? Are you grateful? Do you remember where you came from? That's another big piece with ego of like who helped you get to where you are? Where did you come from? Having some feeling of, man, I got to give back. And so that ego can get out of control when you start to have success. It's hardest to be humble when you're having levels of success. But if you don't, it can overtake you and ruin the relationships and ruin your success levels, ruin your business. And so ask yourself, you know, would you say that you're walking in humility? Can you get better in some of those areas? Are you showing gratitude to people that helped you, to people that help you now for your current situation? Are you looking at all the things that you do great and nothing that other people do great? Are you looking at all the things that are wrong with your situation? Do you feel entitled? Do you have that entitlement mentality? That's a sign of ego. Of I should have this, I deserve this. You ever see that Nick Saban video? Nothing? Check that out. Nobody owes you nothing. So I think just keeping an eye on those three areas of your life, you know, understanding, you know, none of us is perfect. I'm coming to you live from the GRINDcast studios as an imperfect person, working every day, every year to try to grow and get better, which just to grow and get better and accept failures and accept that there's things that you could do different and change. You have to do that in the spirit of humility versus you know it all. Ego stops you from being coachable. My ego says I can't learn from a man, or I can't learn from a woman, or I can't learn from somebody younger than me. We can learn from everybody. Coachability. Can people keep it real with you about some of your flaws or things that we can do better or that you can do better? Can your ego handle it? Somebody being real with you. So let's just inspect these three areas this week of our life. Let's look at our relationships. How are we managing? How are we doing with our spouse, significant other choices? Is there hard conversations that need to happen this week? Being real. How are we doing with the partying, overindulging in anything that's causing us to make bad decisions or making us not be our best self in any area of our life that we need to review? And then how we doing with the humility piece? How we doing with the ego? How's your pride? Too much? It's okay to have some. Is it overdoing? Are you being coachable? Are you being grateful? Are you showing humility? Are you treating people? Are you talking to people or the right way? Or are you walking with gratitude and humility? And are you giving to others? Just check your ego. And we all need that at different times. Speaking of what we all need, anybody running these podcasts, we all need some good positive reviews. Can you give us a positive review? Can you share this with somebody if it added any value to you? Can you take out a couple seconds and share this with people that you think we could add value to? And just know that we appreciate the opportunity to try to add some value to your life. I know I've had some conversations and people that have reached out to some really, really high-level people that are doing a lot of really good things out there that impact a lot of people out there. And it's really humbling to know that sometimes those people, this podcast makes its way into their Bluetooth audio, at times. And so we don't take that lightly, man. We're just grateful for that opportunity to try to impact the world together. And if you could do me a favor, if you think this added any value to you, go ahead and share it to some other people. Also, we're taking requests. If there's topics you want us to hit on or anything like that, feel free to hit us up and let us know some things that you would like us to talk on, and we would be glad to try to get to it. All right. Hey, hopefully you guys are having a good closeout to 2024. We're all getting excited for 2025, and my tip for 2025 is don't wait for 2025. Let's go get it right now. As always, thanks for joining us on another episode of the GRINDcast. Get ready. It's a new day.